April 1st is coming up, guys, and that means pranks are gonna come around. And when pranks come around, it's prank or be pranked. It's not, but it's nice to have a good idea for a prank before it's too late. And one of the interesting prank ideas I came across was to take an aerosol can, shove a nail into it, and then glue the thing down. So that way, the nail is what's sealing the can instead of the spring-loaded valve. And then he would pull the nail out like a grenade pin and then throw the can, and the can would be something like shaving cream or whipped cream. But what if you wanted to do this prank with spray adhesive or Bang fish attractor, which is basically fish scent in a can, except concentrated and far worse than you can imagine. I think those would be really cool ideas, but those cans don't have this nozzle. But I've got a solution. So the first method is great for when you've got a cap like this and you've got enough time to set it up beforehand. But you also risk leaking the contents all over your work area, especially if you're inexperienced. But that method isn't so good with cans like these. How would you glue that down? It's just not gonna happen. So what would you do if you wanted to make a prank with a can like that? I've thought of a couple ideas, but my favorite is this one. I sharpen a clamp, and I call it the can opener. You're about to see why. What do you think? Another thing I found that was interesting is some people taped a bunch of sparklers, I guess they're called. They're little fireworks things you hold in your hand, and they shoot off a lot of sparks. And they took a whole bunch of those, taped them to an aerosol can, and exploded it with the heat from the sparklers. Now, those aren't really legal where I am, but I found a method that I think is going to generate the same results. Let's see how it turns out. Before I do this, I'd just like to say, this method is too dangerous for any type of prank, and I advise against doing it in general, because it's dangerous. Call me a hypocrite, but I'd rather be a hypocrite than someone who encourages people to be reckless for no good reason. Okay. Well. Under normal circumstances, you're not relieved to hear that sound. You know what? I guess I don't really need to say anything, do I? The can's not warm, and the bottom blew out cleanly. Can you see that? You can now. It's not warm at all. Think I can return that thing? It's funny because I went to get my iPod to look up if this thing got bad reviews because it didn't work or something. Apparently someone was having trouble boiling water with this model. So then I went to look at the can, and the can says it could potentially erupt after being heated above 120 degrees, which isn't very hot compared to a burner. Well, that was something. Here's the straw that goes inside the aerosol can. My neighbor's outside and she's not even giving me a suspicious look. Oh my gosh. I think we all learned something today. Not sure what it was. Guys, I think I found the bottom. Okay, so here's ground zero. So I think that's the bottom. Yep. I feel like I should say something about that, but it really speaks for itself, doesn't it? Say it with me, guys. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say, don't try this at home. Say it with me. Don't try this at home. Don't try this at home.